Good day, everyone. My task for today is to share with you the rating system used in the AACOP accreditation. Okay, so let's begin. The rating system for all levels. Let us remember that the AACOP accreditors assess or evaluate us according to the documents we present to them. One of the key features of online accreditation is that survey results are based on the uploaded documents, links, and other related materials found in the official site of the SUC being accredited. Okay, so we can be assessed by the evidences obtained from various sources such as uploaded documents, virtual interview with the local counterparts, virtual interview or virtual small group conferences with the stakeholders, virtual tour to facilities and extension areas, and virtual class observation. Yan na po ang new normal sa ating online accreditation. Moreover, the rating system also established the existence of the required provisions. You will be you will notice that in the instrument, the code M stands for missing and NA for not applicable. Moreover, provisions that are existing are rated according to its adequacy, functional effectiveness, or both. Okay, so let us familiarize ourselves with the rating system. As I have said in the previous slide, NA stands for not applicable and 0 means missing. So, yung 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, yan po yung ating mga rating. So, sana po, let us avoid makakuha ng score na 0 or missing. So, as much as possible, maglagay tayo ng document sa mga benchmark statements para wala tayong missing. And so, para mataas po yung ating mga makukuhang rating. So, in general, yung 1 refers to poor or the criterion is met minimally in some respects, but much improvement needs to overcome weaknesses. It means that the documents that we uploaded, the result of the interview, the virtual tour, or the ano pa ba, are 75% less than the standards. In the same manner, kung binigyan tayo ng 2 na accreditor, it means fair, which refers to the criterion is met in most respects, but some improvement is needed to overcome weaknesses, which refers to the 50% less than the standards. Pag naman naka-receive tayo ng 3 for a particular benchmark statement, ibig sabihin satisfactory. Meaning to say, criterion is met in all respect, which means that 100% compliance with the standard. Okay. Matuwa tayo kapag meron tayong 4 in any of the benchmark statements kasi it means very satisfactory. And the criterion is fully met in all respects at a level that demonstrates good practice. Ito po yung 50% greater than the standards na surpass natin yung standard. And higit tayong dapat matuwa kapag meron tayong 5. Kasi it means that criterion is fully met with substantial number of good practices at a level that provides a model for others. Andito na po yung may mga best practices na tayo. So it means that 75% greater than the standards. Kung magiging familiar tayo later on sa ating mga survey instruments, gawin po natin na goal na maka-5 tayo doon sa mga benchmark statements na alam natin na malakas tayo or ito yung strength natin. Para kung meron man tayong mga, for example, later on yung mga benchmark statement na alam naman natin na lacking tayo at maka-receive tayo ng mga 2 or 3, i-compensate po yun nung 5 na ibang benchmark statements later on. So that yung ma-receive nating parameter mean or area mean ay, kumbaga, ay papasa po tayo. So later on, pag-usapan natin kung paano tayo papasa. We move on. So for the survey instrument, there are 3 elements for each parameter. Ito po yung systems, inputs, and processes, implementation, and outcomes. Okay, yung first element is the system, input, and processes. Dito po, we are being assessed according to the adequacy of the evidences that we present to our accreditor. So again, may numerical rating tayo ng 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yung mga descriptions po nito ay nabanggit ko dun sa previous slide natin. So pag nakakuha tayo ng 1 or 4, meaning to say, inadequate yung ating evidences na na-provide sa ating accreditor. So 75% less than the standard. If we receive naman yung 2, numerical rating of 2 or fair, it means that we provided evidences that are moderately adequate or 50% less than the standard. If we receive a numerical rating of 3, satisfactory, it means that we have satisfied the criteria in all respects. Okay, 4 or very satisfactory, fully adequate with weaknesses, meaning to say, na-surpass natin ng kaunti yung minimum standards. And again, number 5, excellent. We have achieved a substantial number of good practices at a level that provides a model for others. Okay. The second element in our instrument is implementation. For implementation, we are rated based on the extent of how the systems and processes are implemented. Again, we have the 5 numerical ratings, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 is poor, limited extent. Fair, moderate extent. We implemented it moderately. Number 3, we satisfy the standard criteria. So it is fully implemented, but with some weaknesses. Number 4, or numerical rating 4, very satisfactory. We have implemented the benchmark statements without weaknesses. And 5, excellent. Okay, fully implemented with good practice. Our third element is outcome or outcomes. Okay, for here, we are being rated based on the way things turned out or the consequences of the systems and implementation. Kaya alam naman po natin yung outcome para lang sa outcomes-based instruction. Okay? Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numerical rating. Poor if our outcome is poor. And fair if it is fair or 50% less than the standard. 3 or satisfactory, we have met the standard. Number 4 or rating 4, very satisfactory. We exceeded the standard by 50%. And 5, criterion is fully met with substantial number of good practices at a level that provides a model for others. So fully satisfactory. Okay, so how do we accomplish the instruments rating? Our master survey instrument has 4 features or elements. Ito po yung indicators or the benchmark statements, yung item rating, the system, implementation outcome mean or SIOM, and PM, our parameter mean. Okay, let us remember the following in the rating system. Numerical rating for each sub-item is a whole number, where there is a need to get the average of 2 or more items. Limit the decimal places to 2. The parameter mean refers to the sum of the numerical ratings of the elements divided by 3 and use only 2 decimal places. So, tingnan po natin yung example sa right side. So, andyan po yung sa system. Ito po ay area 5 or research. So, ang parameter A ng research ay priorities and relevance. And sa system inputs and processes, there are 4 benchmark statements or there are 4 subheadings. So, yung item rating natin doon na inilagay is 4 and 3. So, ang kanya pong mean, inilalagay natin doon sa COM or SIOM, System Implementation Output Outcomes mean na 3.5. Okay po? Okay. So, implementation, ganun din po. Let us remember that the area mean is the sum of the parameter means divided by the number of parameters. And let us use the spaces provided to indicate for the M or the missing and the NA or the not applicable symbols when needed. May mga benchmark statements po na hindi naman kasi talaga siya applicable sa isang program. Okay, at sabi ko nga kanina, I will emphasize again, let us avoid having the M rating or yung missing. As much as possible, maglagay tayo ng evidence or document para po dun sa M. Para kahit maka-receive tayo ng 1 or 2, at least meron. Okay? Again, lastly, remember that we have to complete the summary of the ratings and write the verbal description corresponding to the numerical rating based on the given limits of index herein. Kasi po, as the local counterparts, i-rate din po natin yung sarili natin. So, self-rating po yan. So, sinasubmit din po yan kasama ng ating mga PPP and others. So, mahalaga na may self-rating tayo para more or less alam natin kung saan tayo, ano yung stand natin. Kung kailangan pa ba natin i-improve, kailangan pa natin mag-acquire or maghanap ng mga evidences para tumaas yung ating rating. Okay, so makikita po nyo sa right side again, yung example ng rating or ng summary of ratings for a particular area. In this example, I am using area 5, which is research, at meron nga siyang 5 parameters. Okay, andyan po yung numerical rating niya, yung descriptive rating. So mamaya, titingnan natin kung paano natin nakuha yung mga numerical ratings na yan. Okay? Let us move on. Okay, so ito yung example natin. So area 5, research. So there are 4 parameters. Priorities and relevance, finding and other resources, implementation, monitoring, evaluation, and utilization of research results and outputs, and lastly, publication. Ito po yung parameter A, priorities and relevance. So, kung makikita po natin sa systems, inputs, and processes, meron siyang dalawang subheadings or meron siyang dalawang item rating. So, items. There are 2 items at i-rate natin siya. Itatapat po natin doon sa columns para later on mas madaling mag-compute. So, item rating 4 and 3, ang kanyang mean ay 3.5. Sa implementation, yung number 2 ay yung I.2, mayroon siya actually 5 subheadings or benchmark statements. Okay? Paalala ko nga po pala, balikan natin yung system. Bigyan ko lang kayo ng tip para sa rating. So, sabi niya, the institution's research agenda is in consonance with institutional, regional, and national priorities concerned, such as the OST, CHED, National Higher Education Research Agenda, NEDA, and others. So, kung lahat ay meron kanyan, 3 na ang ipipigay sa'yo ng accreditor. Medyo madali naman kasi po itong ma-achieve. Usually, yung mga sa systems and inputs and processes, meron tayo nitong mga ito kasi nag-ISO na po tayo. So, existing na sa atin. Pero, bukod dyan, halimbawa, bukod dyan sa mga DOST, CHED, NERA, NEDA, and others, ay mayroon ka pang nailagay na research agenda na international. O kaya, like sa CRIM, ay naglagay pa ng yung sa PNP, BFP, DSWD, at yung sa tingin mo ay relevant for the program, pwede kang bigyan ng accreditor dyan ng 5. Okay po. So, dun sa there is an approved research manual, meron naman tayo yan. So, ang una pong evidence na pwede natin i-attach dyan ay yung research manual, yung BOR number. Kung may BOR number na tayo, tapos copyrighted pa and well-documented and well-disseminated pa yung ating research manual sa ating mga stakeholders, nako, baka magkaroon tayo ng 5 na score dito. So, tulad po sa atin, sa university natin, hindi pa siya copyrighted, pero po, may mga pwede nating evidences na ilagay yung mga steps. Meron na tayo kasing mga application for copyrights. Pwede na yun. So, makaka 4 or 5 na rin tayo doon. Kasi nga, ang minimum standard lang naman is approve. Eh, sino nga bang nag-a-approve? Yung BOR. So, if we go beyond the BOR resolution or the BOR number na 3 points, makaka 5 points na tayo. Diba? Now, let us move on sa implementation. The approved research agenda is implemented. How do we know that it is implemented? How does the accreditor know na ini-implement nga natin yung ating research agenda? So, ano yung pwede nating ilagay na evidence? So, pwede yung mga colloquium, memorandum orders, office memos, in-house reviews, and others. Tapos po yung sa 1.25, for example, doon sa 1.2, sa implement yung participation of stakeholders. Okay, so pwede tayong maglagay dyan ng mga program, attendance sheets, pictures, proceedings, and others para mataas yung makuha nating rating. Ano pa? Sa 1.4, collaborative and team research is encouraged. So, ano po yung pwede nating ilagay dyan? Pwede sigurong office memo, office orders, and research outputs. Sa outcome, at meron pa pala, research outputs are published in refereed national and or international journals. So, pwede tayong mag-provide ng hard copy, screenshots of the screenshots galing sa internet or Google Scholar or whatever na na-publish natin online yung ating mga papers. At yung outcome po niya ay example nito is the number of faculty conducting research. Sa research, napakahalaga po na yung core faculty are actively involved in research. So, at least 50%. Tapos po, pwede rin dito sa 0.1 yung mga colloquium and programs. So, yun po. Kailan siya na-complete and others. And yung 0.2 ay citation and others. So, ganyan po siya i-compute. So, kunin para makuha mo yung parameter mean, i-add mo lang yung systems, input and processes, implementation, and yung outcome, makukuha mo yung parameter mean mo na 3.40. Okay, summary of ratings. So, ito po yun. So, kunin mo lang yung mga parameter means, ilagay sa table. Tapos yung descriptive rating. So, how do we compute the ratings? So, let us be familiar that each area has its weight. So, yung faculty, curriculum, and support to students, since they are the backbone of our program, pinakamataas ang kanilang weight, which is 8. Yung research, library, and physical plant and facilities ay 5 ang weight niya. Samantalang, yung community extension and community development and laboratories ay 4 po ang weight niya with a total of 50. At kung mapapansin ninyo, yung vision, mission, and objectives, wala po siyang weight. Pero, mahalaga na hindi tayo zero, bagsak doon. Kasi may bearing din po siya. So, how do we compute now the weighted mean? So, the area mean times the weight value is equals to the weighted mean. And we can get the grand mean by by dividing the sum of the weighted means and the sum of the weights, which is the grand mean. So, ayun yung ating grand mean for our program. Okay. Malalaman natin kung sa program based from the ratings na makukuha natin. So, ito po yung range ng ratings natin. 1.49, 1 is poor, 1 between 1.550 to 2.49, 2 or fair, 2.5 to 3.49, satisfactory, 3.5 to 4.49, very satisfactory, 4.5 to 5i. Okay. Ito po yung mga required ratings for us to be able to receive the award of accreditation status. Yung preliminary survey visit, kailangan makakuha ka ng grand mean or makakuha tayo ng grand mean ng greater than 1 or equal to 1.0. So we will be awarded with the candidate status. So first survey visit, we should have a mean of greater than or equal to 3.0 and none among the areas is rated less than 2.5, level 1. Second survey visit, level 2, re-accredited, a grand mean of more than or equal to 3.5 and none among the area is rated 3.0. Third survey, karamihan po tayo ay magta-third survey. So our grand mean should be greater than or equal to 4.0 and none among the areas is rated less than 3.5 plus may additional requirements na ibibigay ang ating mga accreditors. At yung fourth visit natin is the grand mean of more than or greater than 4.5 and none among the areas is rated less than 4.0 para po ma-level 4 re-accredited ang status natin. Ayan. So, pwede na tayong mag-accreditation at pumasa sa accreditation. So, maraming salamat po. Ito po yung reference ko kung saan ko kinuha yung ating presentation for today. Magandang araw, magandang buhay, stay everyone. God bless.